So we are in game then, and just to point out there, Soaz is actually playing the AP this time, with Tidus taking Jax and Linak taking the AD carry. So things are switching up, and we actually mentioned this before the first game of the day. I talked to Kudra and said, mate, where is Yellow Star? And he said, yeah, he's on holiday, but don't worry, depending on the champion that we're going to have, we're going to actually be switching up roles during this tournament, and that's something that they're going for here against TSM. So this should be interesting to see. We're not, by the looks of things, going to be seeing any level 1 fight. Both teams playing it fairly cautiously.
Yeah, and it's kind of expected. You know, these guys, we've seen TSM going very aggressive, actually, in the jungle. The first game, they went straight down the bottom and actually managed to get first blood straight out of it. Reginald on Brown there. The second game, they almost got caught themselves by Alternate on the main stage just earlier today. So remember that, you know, with it Millennium, it's just they're going to be more precautious. So you know, they've got to be very cautious of what they're doing. So immediately we can see that, well, they're just going to sit up stage. At the moment, I'm seeing Chaos actually starting in mid. This I am not expecting. So Reginald gone top, and Chaos setting up in mid, which means Udyr is going to go bottom with Jana. What the heck is going on here? This is like just complete change up. We've gone back to the beginning of League of Legends. We've got Ashe mid. What is going on here, Joe?
Well, we're seeing right now the odd one who will just finish off there. So we've got your PC on stage actually. So you're the cameraman.
That's okay.
Yeah, but like you say, I mean, Brand up there on the top. Maybe they're thinking that range can really force Jax off his game. And as you can see, Reginald just zoning Tidus out as often as possible. And that could be very interesting, seeing how the CS count goes in that area. Obviously, in the middle area, we have Soaz on Annie Chaos with Ashe. And actually, we're seeing Nunu coming up here, and Reginald in the safe zone, not going to have any trouble getting himself away from that one. Ward's going down at the bottom from X Special. And Reginald may be caught out here this time, though. He's actually been taken from behind, as he actually will put the pressure back onto Schleier. And they're kind of exchanging damage here. Reginald obviously already popping those health pots just to make sure he keeps himself safe. Gangplank is moving his way in as well, but the odd one is very, well, not very low HP, but only got around about a third of his health. So I'm not sure what we're really going to see from that one. Tidus actually will jump in onto Reginald there, and he's dropped the Ignite on him as well, so that may just force Reginald to go home. He does have still 2 pots left. He just used one of them.
Okay, so we've got to change lane as well now. We're having some movements from Team SoloMid here. Ashe has now gone down bottom with Jana. You can see Rainman come into mid. So now it's the Udyr versus Annie mid. So very creative gaming from Team SoloMid here at the moment. Oh, it's stunned straight away. Rainman also got a nice stack on in the back. That's going to do enough damage to really force him back. I don't think he was quite expecting
as well. We're seeing the pressure being put onto Reginald, who actually has to burn his flash to get away from that one again. Schleier has done a great job so far of coming in there. Odd one is actually by that tri-bus, just hanging around just to see if Schleier makes another attempt to move in there. He's actually in that bush there, up by Reginald, but Reginald will force him away. Odd one is still hanging in there. Down on the bottom lane, we're seeing Millennium push quite nicely.
Yeah, and Rayman's also being stunned up again by Soaz there. Soaz burning the mana, trying to keep Rayman at bay. So obviously using that turtle shield to great advantage to just be able to farm against them. The target's actually gone down on towards Soaz's head here. So Soaz, you know, as the Annie in mid, it's something I've never seen in a tournament gameplay. It's Soaz playing the AP mid, which is maybe going to be a little bit creative. You can see the Rayman coming around the side here. The odd one does manage to go in there. The flash went down. He managed to get the exhaust solely. First blood. No, he's going to get away. Oh, but the odd one manages to flash in and use the parlay and does finally make him take down. So first blood going to the odd one. Nicely played there, but wow. I'll tell you what, there's a lot of summoner spells being burned up very early on here.
Soaz nearly got away with that one as well. That's the most ridiculous thing about it. But still, his initial positioning to be so far forward, for me, was a little bit risky anyway, and obviously he's paid the price for that one. Up on the top, we saw Tidus go back a little bit earlier on. Did pick himself up boots. Obviously, Doran's blade he started with from a little bit earlier on as well. Rainman is going to have his lane covered by Schleier, who starts moving down on the bottom. I have to say, Millennium are doing a really good job of keeping that Ashe and Jana at bay.
Yeah, and what we saw in DreamHack was the the Millennium and Fnatic were very good at lane phase. They were very strong lane phases, and we're kind of seeing it again. You can see down the bottom here that Linak is just keeping it very strongly pushed here. Oh, nicely built over Peacemaker straight over the Ashe there. So Chaos is actually forced very far back. I don't think he's going to be used to this one. Remember, these guys have played fairly easily paced games, has to be said. So, you know, to get jumped in suddenly to players are a lot higher skill level, it's going to be tricky for them. Tidus has actually been Tidus, I should say. I keep calling him Tidus. That's obviously after Tiddy from Fnatic, the Call of Duty player, long time ago there. Reginald has got the odd one. You can see Gangplank ninja'd his way in there, trying to get the stun actually onto Tidus there. Maybe even trying to bait him into it. I'm going to try and keep my eye on down bottom because I can see Jana solo at the moment versus Caitlyn, which means Ashe has gone back and bought. Here we go. The odd one going to come around. I don't think he's going to be able to land that slow quite far enough yet. He's managed to get enough distance. You can also see that Slayer is coming up, gets that speed buff on towards Tidus there. Tidus is going to back away. Meanwhile, in mid, you can see that Turtle Shuttle Rayman. It's actually working very well against Soaz. Soaz is not going to be able to do a great deal against Udyr here mid.
No, I totally agree with you there as well. That shield makes it very hard to, you know, convert all that burst damage that Annie has into an actual kill. We're probably going to see him doing, you know, half, maybe even a little bit more damage to the Rayman, but probably not able to finish off a kill in itself. We saw Ashe go back, actually picked up the Madras Razors there.
Yeah, so we've seen this with Team SoloMid. It's actually something they've been doing pretty much all the way through, and apparently it's become almost a stable place in American gaming. Is they go all for Wriggles Lanterns. You get 3 Wriggles Lanterns, which means they can do the dragon a lot faster, quicker. So when it becomes like a scary team fight around there, they're just going to get it straight down. Also gives them the opportunity to do Baron a lot quicker, which is what we've seen. So it's kind of caught us out, and we have seen some of the European teams doing it. Oh, the odd one having a peek there. He's not really in a situation. The ward spotting him, he was pinged straight up as soon as he was going there. So again, Gangplank's going to have to go back. I've not seen too much jungle invasion actually from either of these sides, considering it's Nunu and Gangplank. Maybe I've just not been watching it because the action's been fairly hotting up at the moment. Let's have a look at down the bottom. We can see CS-wise 55 to 50, so pretty even stuff between them. At the top, you can see it's going to be Jax versus Brand. You'd expect Brand to be higher, and he is, because Jax is it's a little bit light in the early levels, so he just needs to, and you can see he's actually being zoned out there. Nice pump straight on towards Reginald, managed to get the ulti off on them. They're both double ignited. Will he finish him off? Yes, he will. Reginald with the kill, with a basic attack flash there. Very aggressive stuff, and really could have gone either way. If, you know, anyone would have had a little bit of help there, they certainly would have. Let's have a look towards mid. You can see still nothing from it. And, you know, Soaz is not even bothering holding Tibbers back because he just knows he's not really going to be able to do a fat lot about it. Let's have a look down the bottom. You can see a Gamian push. Where's that arrow going straight off to? I'm going to follow it. I think he was going for Annie. Annie just dodges it because Slayer had just seen it straight on the screen there. So I think Annie would have not gone down there, but a lot of damage being done regardless. And let's have a look. Brandy's going to go back. So Reginald will be buying, I guess, a blasting ward, maybe? No, he's going straight for Sorcerer's Boots and a second Doran's Ring. Meanwhile, Jax is coming back with that awesome skin, by the way, with a second Doran's and a pair of boots.
And we've actually seen Nunu, of course, is Slayer, the newest player actually coming into this Millennium lineup. He's had Oracle for, I think, around about a minute and a half now, and he's really done a good job of clearing out. There's only one ward left in that southern river area, and we're going to see now if he can actually make a bit of an impact and get in for the gank onto this bottom lane. Both Expression and Chaos have played this bottom lane quite passively, not really pushed it up whatsoever. And I think that's more to do with the fact that they're a little bit scared of Linux Caitlyn with that awesome range that she has, really putting out some early damage onto that lane and forcing him to go back and lose out on that CS. And if we look at down it once again, 76 to 70, so it stayed very, very even down there.
Yeah, and again, we're seeing the Wriggles being built on Gangplank, obviously on Ashe, and it has been completed on Udyr in center as well. So, yeah, I mean, the Wriggles are being built, pinged on. You can never tell who's doing the ping. Actually, the red ping means it's them. So Udyr is actually thinking. Now you can see he's just gone straight past the ward. He was actually thinking of going for blue, and Brand was pushing it there, trying to get on towards Jax. But Jax has got that ulti up now, so he can start dodging a lot more, but you can't dodge a nuke. That's the problem. And meanwhile, Udyr has just got Slayer poking around him. Also, Gangplank had sneaked his way in there. They're probably kind of saying, Reginald, do you mind not pushing the lane so much? We're kind of like waiting to gank. The odd one might as well just port back right now. He's just doing enough damage just to keep him at base. Slayer is going to come around. They're going to jump straight on him. The odd one does come around the side, and that's almost just sort of to save his bacon. He just forced him backwards. Meanwhile, back in the mid, you can see Udyr has immediately come straight in there, having to turtle shield up. Getting a fair bit of burst damage there from Soaz. Soaz has managed to get a blasting ward and 2 Doran's rings now, so you can see Ashe also just gone back. Ashe is going to probably complete that Wriggles, I guess. Yes, he will do. Wriggles and a pair of boots, so slowly building up. BF sword meanwhile, so going pretty much standard on Linak there, so the BF sword along with a pair of boots.
Soaz just moving his way through around this middle area. Obviously, Rayman's going to be such a tough target, and actually both players stunning each other, and Soaz is going to walk away from that one without any problem. As you mentioned down the bottom, we did see Wriggles completed by Ashe, but the BF sword was finished for Caitlyn a little bit earlier on. So we'll see exactly where that BF sword leads Caitlyn. I think last time we actually saw her in Force for Millennium, it was... anyway, we've got this action up at top. I'll talk about that later. And actually, the kill will come out from Reginald. Was caught in that Gangplank ulti, and he's got himself away, and he's going to flash in. Actually, both players flashing at the same time. Reginald is a dead man, and he's not going to get the kill onto Slayer. He did put the Ignite out there, but I'm pretty sure he's going to survive that one. Yes, he does. 23 health left, and that was nicely covered there by Soaz to get up and get that kill.
Yeah, Reginald getting a little bit greedy, it has to be said there. He got the one kill, could have got away with it and backed straight away and went dark and just flashed straight in there. However, oh, Jana taking a big hit in the backside there from Linak. They are going to pick up this dragon though, I feel, and then obviously those Wriggles lanterns are paying dividends, despite the fact Gangplank hadn't even completed his. He will go back now, but that's going to be the first dragon. That's going to give them a big gold advantage. You can see the gold advantage already. We have it now on the spec mode. It's really helpful for us, to be honest, as spectators and commentators. Meanwhile, you can see Annie has continued to stay at the top here, so Soaz putting a little bit of damage down in this tower. Probably going to strip about half health before Brand even gets back here, and I guess maybe trying to farm up and just trying to. I think probably going to go straight for a cap, Rabadon's death cap. I kind of expect that's what she's going to go for. Needs to farm up a bit. Tidus is returning, and well, in the meantime, Slayer's trying to cover off the Rayman. You cannot leave Udyr. Once he starts getting enough fed, you can't leave him alone in lanes like that.
He's actually starting to work his way a little bit further north into that top lane. Reginald obviously around that turret. There are pings going down, so Millennium know that Rayman is starting to work his way up there. And yeah, there is a ward in that tri-bush. See there on your screen. Tiger's still hanging in there. Soaz obviously is still missing. Down at bottom, we're seeing a little bit of pressure coming out. Kuja just backing away from that one. And up at top, Gangplank is still sniffing around as well, and they don't know, well, probably they do know that Soaz is there. In fact, yeah, they will put a ping into that top bush, so they've got an idea that Soaz is in around. There goes Tippers, there goes a stun, and Reginald down and out of this one. Even the ulti came in as well. Which is interesting, it's showing us a green Gangplank ulti.
I did notice that, actually, and I noticed in the last one.
It confused me in the first one.
I was like,
what?
Why is that green? But okay, maybe that's something we could think of. Oh, wow, the big damage there onto the odd one. So Soaz has got quite a good AP already. Obviously got the 2 Dorans, and Tidus not going to go in for it. Will Tidus dive in? No, he's not. And you can see Udyr is also having to come back up there, so he's trying to cover it off, which means, let's have a look down the bottom. They've actually back on the tower. I think they've just, they haven't been to buy yet. Let's have a look at the CS. It's 119 to 114, still very, very even down the bottom here. And Annie actually, 114, Annie got very good CS, it has to be said, compared to everyone else. However, Jax had fell behind, so Jax is going to struggle. But Jax is one of those heroes that can just get better and better as the game goes on, as long as the game lasts that long, as it were. So yeah. KX is going to go straight back. I guess a BF sword's going to come out now. Yeah, KX has got himself a BF sword. Doesn't have those Berserker Greaves yet, but doesn't really need them. Soaz returns the mid, has picked up a needlessly large rod now. Obviously, that kill on Reginald really helping his efforts. And Reginald, at the moment, I don't think he's going to be happy with this game. He's had 2 deaths, really, that he was at fault at.
Yeah, I mean, without them, he'd be looking very, very strong now. He's got those 3 Doran's rings. Does have the blasting wand in there as well. Up on the top lane, of course, we do have Udyr, who was the original up at that top, or the second original. They've switched you know, 3-4 times or 2-3 times during this game already. You see that Rayman is the one up there putting on the pressure. Maybe we're going to see some pressure onto Linak down at bottom. Yeah, knocked down to around about half HP. No mana left, and actually netted herself away from there. Didn't want to get caught out. Up on the top, it's just two guys hitting each other for a very long time.
It's a slugfest going on there. Jax is going to get a bit of damage on. This is what we're expecting. He's actually using the exhaust. I don't know why he went for the exhaust there. Was he really thinking he was going to get it? And predictably, the counter-strike going straight off there from Jax, just saying, you're going to come at me, I'm going to stun you. Meanwhile, there's go going on in the mid there. You can see that Nunu is being chased. There's 4 members of Team SoloMid, and he needs to be very careful as well because he's going to come around the side. Oh, but Tibbers goes straight down on Reginald. I don't think he's going to quite have enough burst. Is he going to be able to get away with it? Gangplank ulti kind of wasted there. Tibbers is just stood in the middle of it. Meanwhile, you can see Udyr is coming around the side. Instead, they're just going to switch it up and steal the blue. Meanwhile, you can see down the bottom here, Linak continues to push, and he's going to get a lot of damage on this tower before they even get back here. May even be able to take it down. It's down to 543, going down at a good 100 hit points to go. Yes, he will. That's a desperate, desperate loss for Team SoloMid. They're losing that tower. Will manage to get a little bit of damage onto Linak, but it doesn't matter. And that's very important play by Millennium there. They didn't feel pressured. You know, 4 people of Team SoloMid charging up the mid. They weren't panicked by it. They haven't got the teleport, you know, we saw in DreamHack, but
this could be bad news. So Linak actually having to flash away. Net will go out. And he walked straight into that pillar there as well from Reginald. Great job. The ulti actually taking around about a third of that health away from Soraka, which won't make too much of a difference. But she's now defending that tower alone. We are seeing Nunu and Annie kind of on standby, ready to move in there if they need to. But it was a nice finisher from Reginald, and you have to say it's not easy to avoid that kind of push when you're 1 against 3, actually, as it was there for Linak.
Meanwhile, 2 dudes keep continuing to hit each other at the top here. They're just, you know, actually, to be fair, Tidus is slowly losing the battle. Udyr has actually got pretty strong, pretty beefy now, so it's kind of got to the point. However, Infinity Edge now on Caitlyn. Need to be careful here. Oh, it's going to be a face check straight in there, and that's going to be the Ashe arrow straight onto Slayer. Slayer's not going to be able to get away from this one. Oh, but he's flashed straight through, but a flash from Chaos is going to follow straight away. The slow arrows, he's going to lose track of him as soon as he goes into that jungle. He needs to land the hit. Instead, the odd one's going to flash through as well, so double flash used. Will they be able to finish him off? Meanwhile, coming around the side. Is he actually finishing him? What is he doing? Hit him, man. Meanwhile, Soaz turns around. X Special goes down. Good use, and also takes down the Ashe as well. Craziness there. Reginald's not going to be able to get this kill. He's going to continue to dive it, though. He's determined to get Soaz, but that really backfired for Team SoloMid. Millennium, are playing fantastically well here. Meanwhile, you can see Linak has gone up the top here, and he's got a lot of damage. He's got that Infinity Edge. He's managed to beat a hole in that Udyr turtle shield.
Yeah, and that's one thing that you can't underestimate. The range of Caitlyn and the power now that she's got that Infinity Edge can cause Udyr a lot of trouble up at the top, because he just can't get on her, and that's a problem. In middle, we are seeing Reginald hammering away on this turret, and I think it's going to go down. Yeah, it will do, before Jax actually gets himself in there. Minions obviously just being kept at bay by Reginald, and he's not going to go down, actually. I saw Tidus just come in. I think probably Reginald could have stuck around to finish that one off. It was like 2 hits max to finish off that turret. We do have Dragon up already. It came back on 1805, and I actually timed that. The players used to do it for us before when we had the chat window, but I decided to time it this time. Actually, a ward goes in. X-Special does have the the turret up at top. I missed that one. Yeah, Oracle on X-Special, so that ward will go down. Obviously, Rainman, Odd One, will have no problem taking this dragon down very, very quickly. So that'll be coming up in 6 minutes' time. Up in the top area, we've actually got Tidus running through the jungle there. Reginald is there, and he needs to be very careful. Caitlyn's in there as well. Is Reginald going to go down? Gets the stun off onto Linak. Oh, and the ulti was out, and that was very close, and he actually gets the kill. Didn't spot the ignite that had gone in there as well. Brilliant, brilliant play from Reginald to actually survive. And, well, that good old ulti, they were just close enough to get the bounce.
Yeah, it was the dot just finishing him off, and we experienced that the other day, didn't we, Joe, when I pooned you in a 1v1.
Yeah, you're just making that up.
Just making it up the stream, that's right. So, 20 minutes in, and you've got to be careful. Remember, Candy Panda, Caitlyn. It's Caitlyn. I just call it Candy Panda these days. I'm so used to him playing it. Caitlyn and Jax together can take a tower down very quickly, so they've got to be careful in situations like that, which they almost had, where the two of them were just free to hit on that tower. As it was, managed to slowly get a push on there, but Chaos continuing to push his dominance down the bottom here. Needs to be careful. The rest of the team are starting to react. It's just going to port away. away. Plenty of time for that. Udyr, will he get a stun? Yes, he will do. Managed to get the stun down, and so as Soraka is there with him, though, so I think he's going to be able to dive the tower too badly. There is a little bit of health. There's not a lot of health on that mid tower, so it's almost certainly going to go down. Oh, Ashe just flashing through. Didn't manage to land anyone. I think that would have been the death of them. You can see they were just hanging back. However, AP-wise, you can see 251 for Annie. Meanwhile, Brand is a little far behind, 137. Had went Rod of Ages first again. We saw this in the last match as well, and the triple Doran, so didn't go straight for the Rabadon's death cap, which Annie has the advantage of. Annie obviously staying mid, had a lot more farm, so at the moment it has that slight advantage. It is a very even game here, Joe.
That arrow actually hit Slayer in spawn.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, when he was just walking out, he's like, what? That's annoying. Obviously, he just regened it straight back away. And if you look at the wall coverage, which has now gone a bit, that's another advantage to those wriggles. You can get some good vision when you're starting to push in further.
Vision, yeah.
And X Special just doing a good job as well of, you know, countering the whole Millennium warding by having that Oracles up for such a long time now and managing to clear things out. Schleier, who was obviously the jungler and did have that earlier on, did have that Oracles is what I'm trying to say. Not quite managing to keep that up. Exhaust put out onto Jax. He won't be able to chase him too hard onto Chaos up at that top area. So now we've got a 2-1 tower advantage for Millennium. They are 3K behind in gold, and they are 5 to 6 behind. As you see those pings just going off in the middle area, they did know that Reginald was there as he just peeked out of that bush. It looks like they're kind of setting up no real you know, big push at this stage in towards anywhere, but they're just looking for that one opportunity where someone steps, you know, a couple of meters out of position and they're going to jump straight in there and try to capitalize. Yeah,
the double supports both meeting there and sort of like, am I going to hit you?
You can't do anything to each other.
Soraka kind of like threw the banana at her and I'm off. They both put wards down though, so, and actually neither of them survived. They're surely going to take this tower down here, so I was taking a little bit of hits. You can see Tydeus coming around the side there. Would he be able to jump? In fact, who would he target if he's going to jump on him? I guess it's got to be Chaos, I'm not too sure. Would it be Reginald? Yeah. Reginald's been popping very quickly, and I don't think there's anything going to happen. You can see they're slowly picking him off here, and this is just, you know, this is the first time we've seen a tense 5v5, 22 minutes in, and Udyr's going to try and start things off. Surely the Ashe arrow would be the thing that would start it off, but instead he's going to hold it back. Obviously needs to reserve it for just in case someone goes in there. They just need to get a couple of shots. I mean, really all they need to do is buy a little bit of time for Ashe to manage to hit that tower, but it's not happening for them. Stack-wise, you can see the top is pretty even stuff, so nobody's really going to have to leave this situation, so I think we're going to stay strong in the middle there. A ward going down. That's going to get picked off surely, I think. Is anyone actually no Oracles at all, actually, in the team? Yeah, no. Nunu doesn't have the Oracle on. Slayer got taken down a short while ago, doesn't have Oracle on. Let's have a quick look at the items while they're continuing to prod back and forward. I guess it's all going to happen quickly. 252 AP versus 143 AP. Let's have a look at the attack damage wise. You can see Infinity Edge still not completed by Ashe. I'm not too sure whether he's even going to go for it. Hasn't even got the Berserker boots either, whereas compared to Caitlyn, and nearly called it Candapandia again, has got the Berserker Greaves, the Infinity Edge, and the Zeal. So the difference here is the Wriggles Lantern that they've gone for. You know, it's given them the advantage in that the fact that they picked up the Dragon, but it's also put them at a disadvantage that their AD carry is actually lower. The Ashe arrow coming through, and they'd already backed off. They kind of knew it was coming. Jax has gone to cover off Ashe top there, so we may well get a nasty situation for Jax here. Jax is already running, but I don't think he's going to be able to make it. You can see them coming around straight around. They're going to try and pin him off. He's actually going to abandon ship. And meanwhile, the rest of his team are going to come around, so they've had to give up on that top tower.
Yeah, this top tower, no way they're going to keep a hold of it. They're just getting rid of that blue before it can be stolen actually by TSM. And it is going to go to Soaz finally when he finishes it off. But here we have once again Linak just showing why you can't leave her alone in a lane. She's going to chip away a good amount of damage from this middle tower. And less than half by the time she actually backs away. And not sure really about that Gangplank ulti. Probably the slow more than the damage is what they were aiming for. But look at that, the odd one down to half HP already. And they're going to continue to push through. Piltover Peacemaker making light work of this minion line. They're just going to have to try and hold Millennium off this middle turret. And as you can see, Linux just chipping away, and it is going to go down. There was a stun in there onto Rainman. Not in a position where they can really follow that one up. There's a decent stack on top, but of course tower is down. Same on bottom. So we are in now a 3-on-3, and the goal difference at 3K, this is still anyone's game. Amazing game.
It's all about those two dragons that the TSM so far have had. but it is very tight. And it's showing, just as they were at DreamHack, why that they finished second and third. They were both very, very even matches. There was only really the odd mistake that separated the whole game, so it's still very close stuff. And again, Dragon spawns, Team SoloMid there again, so it's going to give them that small gold advantage. Actually, it turns out pretty big when you add it all up across the team. And again, 190 gold given across the whole board, along with that one little gold that you get from Gangplank. Actually, that's a very good point. They've got Gangplank in there and Ashe there, so they're getting quite a few little bonuses here and there stacking up, but it's not enough but to make it a 3k difference. That's just all about those 3 dragons. So they're going to push the stacks. You can see top pushed, bottom pushed. The opposition way, actually, that's quite a big stack down bottom, which Millennium might want to try and follow up on.
Yeah, we're going to see it move along there. Obviously,
double Quicksilver Sash here. This is exactly what they needed here. So Annie and Caitlyn both picking up the Quicksilver Sash. Obviously, you've got Udyr in there, you can get the stun. You've got the Ashe arrow, you can get the stun on there, and also Brand stun as well. So, you know, very clever to pick these up. They're pretty cheap items. It gives you good magic resist. And wow, Annie's just trying to find a stun there, trying to do a little bit of damage on the Rayman. And they're getting very aggressive to push it. They know that Brand is down the bottom there. Gangplank's had to come straight round. Reginald now working his way back there. They didn't get enough on that turret though that they wanted. Actually, I think the Howling Gale from Jana did quite a lot of damage there.
Awesome, Jana. So, still, that stack from Millennium is around the middle. As you mentioned, there's not so much from either side on that top or bottom lane, so there's no reason why either team needs to really leave this area. I mean, Rainman's been the focus of all the attention. There goes the Ashe arrow. Are they going to follow in? No, they're not, and that was Quicksilver Sash actually used. Ulti comes out. Oh, and Soaz is caught completely out of position. He actually backed in towards TSM during that one. Odd One is going very, very low as they flash in. They're going to dive straight in onto Linak. Will TSM look to follow this one up? Minion line is fairly heavy. They're going to clear that one out. And will they push in, or are they going to go for Baron?
Got to be a Baron call, yeah, absolutely. There was no way they were going to push in, and immediately they're going to have to respond. But, you know, there's not really... Wow! 3 wards go down in that bush. It's pretty well covered. Let's put it that way.
Plenty of vision there.
And here we go. They're going to go for that Baron. You can see what are they going to do? I mean, they've only got Jax, and Jax is just going to have to leap in. He's going to get absolutely obliterated the minute he does that. And you can see they immediately turn around. They're not going to finish it. No, they're going to turn around. They're going to destroy him. Odd One is actually going to get picked off. Titus will not manage to finish him off, and he will go down. Wow, Soraka's like, oh my god, I got to get the hell out of here. That was very well warded up. Meanwhile, Nunu is trying to sneak around the back, trying to finish him off. Titus did manage to get that kill on Gangplank in there. Soraka does go down. However, they've had to abort the Baron, so it kind of bought them the time, and it bought them the Baron buff, and even Slayer's got the damn cheek to go in there and try and take that ward out. And he's going to get... Will he manage to finish it off, or will he get taken down? He's going to have to get the hell out of there and abandon that ward kill. It's just not worth it, dude. Go away. So, very nicely played from both teams there, just hanging on. Shirelia's Reverie now been brought on. Nunu, obviously the Rabadon Death Cap completed a long time ago by Annie, has got quite a lot of AP, has also got that Quicksilver Sash, like I mentioned, which I think actually didn't help her because she got killed in there. But 326 AP now for Annie compared to 259 on Brand. So Brand definitely catching up. He's got that new large rod of blasting ward, so almost the Rabadon's Death Cap complete. Soon he does complete that, he will have a lot of AP because he'll give him that big bonus that you get out of it. AD-wise, let's have a look at Caitlyn. You can see Infinity Edge. Zeal had it for quite a while. Actually built up that Quicksilver Sash. Obviously would have normally gone straight for Phantom Dancer, but had a slight change of plan there. Infinity Edge now completed by Chaos on Ashe there, as well as the Zeal, as well as the Wriggle. So really a lot of attack speed and damage in there as well. So overall, they are hitting the penultimate level, really. It's going to be one of those big team fights that make it count.
Yeah, well, not so far away from hitting that 30-minute mark as well. We are seeing TSM start to work their way up once again, up towards this Baron area. Of course, they do have the Oracle on Jana, and yeah, they are starting to move in there. It is actually clear there's no wards placed so far around there for Millennium. Well, they will drop the Clairvoyance down. We are seeing now TSM starting to move over round towards this blue area. There is a ward in the back. They have spotted it. We are going to see TSM come in here, and we are going to see Millennium try to defend this blue buff. They're pushing in. We saw the drop coming down. Ultimate comes out from Gangplank. We see Soaz fall. Titus is in all kinds of trouble. Surely will fall, yeah, and actually it's the pillar in the end that gets it from Reginald. And they are pushing down nicely as well onto Linak, who has to flash away from all of that going on. Slayer obviously fell earlier. Linak is now surely going to go down. Stayed alive for a little while. Well, that was a great fight from TSM's point of view. They've lost just Reginald, who even actually, I think, managed to get that kill after he died.
Yeah, and it's important to mention X-Special's ulti in there. It really saved them. The Jana ulti, sometimes it can be a kill or cure, sometimes the Jana ulti, but it really saved their bacon. Reginald was so low, as well as the odd one. He got very low, but the ulti managed to trigger off, blow them away as well. And I think it blew Annie away straight after doing the Tibbers. Managed to just get it before he managed to get the Incinerate off in there. So Baron picked up. Did Reginald get spawning time? No, not quite. Very close to being spawning. Oh well, so Reginald up to 369 AP, has that Brilliance pot as well. Doesn't have the benefit of the Baron, but nevertheless, they are in a very strong position now, and a 9k gold advantage.
Yeah, that 9k, we've really, since I said we're at the 30-minute mark, it seems like so much has happened there in that last minute. Great play from TSM, and as you mentioned, that Jana ulti, really a massive thing in that last fight. We are seeing Soaz fairly aggressively placed in middle. Here we go, Ashe arrow comes in, it's landed on Soaz. Oh, manages to get away there from Reginald for a split second. Reginald is actually going to flash his way over, did get the stun off onto Schleier, and his ulti did actually bounce to Soaz as well. They're not going to give up the chase on this one. Nice slow comes in onto the odd one. I think they should be able to get away from this one. Nice net as well. Schleier did get caught again from Reginald, but I think he's out of danger. Yes, he is, but TSM surely will push this turret.
Yeah, it's bought them time to take down another inner turret, and that will go down, and another one. It's the first one of the bunch. Meanwhile, Jax was down the bottom. He was trying to clear the lanes. He's just having to madly dash back here. Remember, a team with a Baron buff really is a strong thing, and really, if they'd have got that kill, I think they could have been over by then. But meanwhile, Team SoloMid, I think they're going to tank it up here. Actually, they've got a few minions in there. It's going to buy them enough time, and it's certainly going to buy them time to take it down. Reginald just keeping them at bay there with that massive pillar of fire that he has. And will they switch straight across? Yes, they will. I think they're going to actually try and tank the bottom turret. I guess Udyr will go straight in, where the Gangplank might do. They're going to go directly for it. Yeah, almost certainly will do. And they've got the agility pots, and I can see in there there's definitely a green glow around them. I think probably got a fortitude pot on the go as well. It's something that we don't actually see with the spec mode. That's one of the few things that we can't see. We can see the glow there. So all three inner turrets taken down by Team SoloMid with that Baron buff, making great use of it, and just going to go back and say we'll have a dragon as well.
Yeah, like they need that extra gold.
Yeah.
They are actually over the 10k gold advantage point at this stage as well, and Dragon falls in a matter of seconds. So looking very good. We've got two Trinity Forces in action for TSM, one with Gangplank, one with Udyr, and I can't really see how Millennium are going to turn this one around. Look at the ward coverage as well from those Wriggles that TSM have got in action. They are literally covering the entire side of Millennium side of the map. So you know, they can see everything pretty much that's going on, exactly what Millennium's next move will be. They've gone back again to do a bit more shopping. What the next move is. And do you think what the next move is? I mean, do you think that Millennium could come back from this one? How are they going to go about that?
The only thing they can do is defend and farm, because they need Jax to get fed. Jax is one of those heroes that can just keep getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and eventually they won't be able to do much about it. If he gets to jump onto Chaos or Reginald, he will kill them. It's inevitable that they will go down. It's just a case of, can they control him enough? And really, can they stop him getting the damage? He doesn't have a great deal of damage right now. That's the big thing. He's got the Hex Tech for Gunblade finally built up there. And you can see that they're going to have to run for the life there. You can see Udyr going to come around the side. It's Linak he was trying to go for. Does manage to turtle shield up. Oh, and look at that damage he's managed to do to Udyr. That's huge. Considering he's like probably one of the tankiest guys on the team by a long stretch of the imagination. You can see Chaos just hanging around there, wanting to try and get the arrow off onto someone. Instead, they're just going to push straight on the mid there. They've got Gangplank also trying to squeeze in the side there. Had put a nice push in it. Linak needs to be careful. He doesn't get caught out. Meanwhile, they're going to put pressure on this mid, and they will take down the mid turret. That is the first base turret. That is deadly for Millennium there, and surely now they're looking at defeat. They're going to have to try and pull something miraculous to get out of this. That inhibitor's going to go down unless they really go for a full-on attack. I think they're going to have to pull back straight towards the double towers by the Nexus. Yeah, they are. There's nothing they can do about this. They just got caught split very nicely by Gangplank there, and I think they're just going to go straight across. Now, they're going to know the timer on Baron. I don't think it's going to be yet. They're going to push this stack down. I guess they're going to push maybe the bottom stack as well, and whether someone's going to peel off. I can see Udyr maybe peeling off, actually just picking up blue buff and saying, okay, we've got all the farm in the jungle. So they have absolute, utter control. 13k ahead. The inhibitor down now, so I really don't know what they're going to be able to do about this.
Yeah, they've taken the red, they've taken the blue, both from the Millennium side, and this is a super strong TSM team coming straight in there as well. And yep, there goes the Ashe arrow in onto Linak, flashes away on, just caught out there. Must have been the end of the range there from Jana, but that's allowed TSM to start moving in. And look at Udyr going in there, gets the stun onto Soaz. That's forced him away. Nunu ulti and Rainman just got out of range, but he's dead here for sure. He's got into a position where he's a little bit too far away. Oh, X-Special actually came in there as well, tried to use the ulti to save his teammate, and I'm not sure how that's going to work out. They have changed there over onto Schleier. He goes down. This turret's going to fall. The inhibitor will go with it very, very quickly as well. And in fact, they're all dead now, Millennium. I missed the last one. 20 seconds, first man alive, which will be Soraka, which is hardly the base defender that you'd want to rely on. And they should just chip straight through here. This should be a good game. It should be TSM taking it.
Yeah, very well played by Team SoloMid. The odd one thought he caught him. He was like, I'm going to die just at the end. But that's going to be TSM, going to be top in the group. Who will they play? That is the question. They played brilliantly here. It has to be said. Millennium put up a good fight. But overall, Team SoloMid were dominant. They are the victors. They will top Group A. And there they are, the American